Good morning. Thanks for joining us at 7. I'm Tracey McCain.
And I'm Caitlin Nuclo. You're watching Eyewitness News here on the Wax. We do have a lot to talk about, but first let's get the details on that forecast. Meteorologist Scot Haney is here this morning with the details.
Here I am on the Wax.
Here you are.
It's amazing that you can keep your white suit white.
Let me tell you something. I want to tell you a quick story. I had to drop my sunglasses underneath my car.
Yeah.
Kneel down the last time I wore this suit.
Oh my goodness.
Came up. I had green all over the knee. I had to go put bleach on it and then send it to the cleaners.
Oh, wow.
So I saved it. Anyway.
Yes.
Good for you.
First Alert Live radar showing a couple of sprinkles up in northwest Connecticut. It's not a big deal, right? Visibility. Oh, we went from a half a mile to a mile at Bradley. To 7 miles. It just changed before my very eyes. Right before my very eyes. First alert. Late Friday into early Saturday. This means business, folks. It's going to become windy around here. Gusts 30+ miles an hour. Tropical downpours 1 to 2 inches. Some isolated severe storms are possible, leading to poor drainage, flooding, and some isolated power outages. All the result of Debbie and a cold front. Now, what has changed, the shift further west. It is speeding up. That means decreased flooding and a quicker impact for us. By Saturday morning, this whole system is done. There it is. There's Debbie. And it's going to be climbing the inland areas of the coast. You can see here, this is Friday at 8 p.m., all right? And then this is Saturday at 2 a.m. So it's done by Saturday morning, which is some good news. All right, we can finally see it, Bradley. The fog has really lifted, which is some excellent news. As we take a look at Futurecast, tomorrow's weather today, again, the remnants of Debbie interacting with this cold front. This is Friday at noon. We're still good, basically dry. This is Friday at 5, 6. We're basically dry. But then all bets are off as we start to move in towards 9, 10, and midnight. Look at that line of showers and thunderstorms that's going to be going through, some of which could be strong to severe. By Saturday at 7 a.m., you're waking up to sunshine. Your forecast for today calls for temperatures in the mid-70s, a little cooler than average, mostly cloudy with showers late. All right, Raj, take it away.
All right, thank you very much, Scott. We are in pretty good shape in terms of the traffic across the state right now. As we take a little tour around Connecticut, you can see it's mostly smooth sailing. We have been telling you about a little bugaboo in Waterbury right now, I-84 west near Meadow Street. That has been sort of an ongoing issue with some construction throughout the day. Looks like things are moving pretty well right now. But you want to get weird right now? Let's get weird on the Wax. I got to show you this picture right here, this video. Take a look at this. This is I-95 north, the exit on-ramp from 95 onto US 7. You can see it looks like a demolition derby there, doesn't it? That ramp is closed right now to oncoming traffic. That just popped up right before 7 a.m. Now, in terms of your drive times, again, we are in pretty good shape as we start your Thursday morning. That is, look at your first alert traffic report here on the Wax. Let's send it over back to you guys.
Some breaking news overnight in Hartford to get to now. 2 men in the hospital right now after they were shot on Orange Street last night. Police tell us they were called there at about 11 o'clock. The victims were already at the hospital. Both men are listed as stable. There's no word yet on any suspects.
Breaking news out of Japan this morning. A powerful earthquake hit off Japan's southern coast, triggering a tsunami advisory. The Japan Meteorological Agency says the quake registered a preliminary magnitude of 7.1 and was centered off of the eastern coast of Japan's southern main island of Kyushu. The tsunami advisory is now in effect with expected waves more than 3 feet high.
First responders will be back at Scoville Reservoir in Wolcott this morning to continue searching for a missing kayaker. Pinpoint News Tracker shows you exactly where. Police were called about 6:30 last night, and they were searching there until it got dark. Right now, the missing kayaker's name has not been released.
Well, this morning we're learning more details about a deadly crash in Florida. The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office says 9 people died in the crash, and now the National Transportation Safety Board is investigating. Investigators say at least 2 of the passengers killed were from Bridgeport. They've been identified as 21-year-old Anaya Tucker and 5-year-old Camden Edwards. The only passenger to survive this crash remains in the hospital.
A newly released report has intensified the ongoing investigation of sexual abuse and harassment accusations that's plaguing the U.S. Coast Guard right now.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Marcy Jones has the latest on the investigation from New London.
Within its 48-page report, the U.S. Senate is calling sexual abuse and sexual harassment within the U.S. Coast Guard, quote, a pervasive issue, featuring testimonies of over 80 whistleblowers revealing very disturbing details. This is escalating the already intense investigation that was opened last year. Now, first-hand accounts detail story after story of systemic sexual assault and harassment. The report by the U.S. Senate paints a dark picture of retaliation, lack of accountability, and a culture of silence. Perhaps one of the most disturbing details is that the alleged abuse has been taking place since the 1970s. The report released yesterday is just one of many ongoing government inquiries into the U.S. Coast Guard, leading many lawmakers to call for a change in leadership. Now, one of those lawmakers is Senator Richard Blumenthal, who will be holding a hearing happening later this morning at 11 here in New London, and it will actually feature two of those whistleblowers. In New London, Marcy Jones, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
This morning, we're on top of developing news out of Hamden, where several police officers were injured during a struggle with a suspect at Hamden Plaza on Dixwell Avenue. Police say 29-year-old Derek Gillum was having a mental health crisis, saying he wanted to be killed by police. And that's when they say Gillum bit and scratched the officers. New Haven police say they also had an encounter with Gillum, saying they tried to arrest him earlier that day for kidnapping.
Eversource customers are fed up after receiving their latest costly electric bill in the mail. We've been hearing a lot about this.
Oh, yeah. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Olivia Schuler has the details of a news conference being held by state Republicans later today.
At 11:45 this morning, that is when GOP lawmakers are going to be meeting at the Legislative Office building to talk about electric rates. It comes after Connecticut residents stressed their concerns and frustrations over the recent Eversource electric bills that came in the mail. Now, our I-team has been flooded with emails from people across the state with copies of their electric bills. One woman says her bill went from $219 to $548. Another person says the public benefits portion of her bill increased $124. Talk about sticker shock. Lawmakers hear individuals' concerns, and most of them want to do something about it. Representative Jonathan Steinberg with the Energy and Technology Committee says 77% of the public benefit increase comes from the Millstone nuclear contract, a bipartisan agreement signed in 2017. Steinberg says COVID relief funds cannot be used in any way to combat the costly bills. However, State Senator Jeffrey Gordon argues the money could be used.
No, we can't, because there's an appropriate separation between electric rates and the general budget.
We could actually use that to help either pay for this or defray the cost. And some people have even advocated, do we even need to use any surplus funds that we have?
Most of the American Rescue Plan money has been allocated for. However, Gordon says that the legislature should call for a special session so that they can figure out ways to combat this rise in electric rates. Now, once again, the meeting will be happening at 11:45 at the Legislative Office building. In Berlin, Olivia Schuler, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
The first turbine for Revolution Wind has left the State Pier in New London. It will be installed about 35 miles off of the coast of Montauk, New York. This is a step forward for Connecticut's offshore wind project. This project could help you save on your energy bill. Nearly $390 million in new funding was announced yesterday for that project. Revolution Wind is expected to be up and running next year. Well, Vice President Kamala Harris and her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, push ahead today in the Southwest with their battleground state campaign blitz. Yesterday, they spent the day in Michigan and Wisconsin, while former President Donald Trump's running mate did the same. The Midwest is where Democrats hope that Walz will attract some of the new voters. And on the GOP side, the candidates are going after Walz for his handling of the unrest in Minneapolis after George Floyd was killed by police back in 2020. At the White House, President Biden sat down with CBS's Robert Costa for his first interview since announcing that he would not seek re-election.
Are you confident that there will be a peaceful transfer of power in January 2025?
If Trump wins, no, I'm not confident at all. I mean, if Trump loses, I'm not confident at all.
The full interview can be seen this weekend on CBS News Sunday morning.
Well, Taylor Swift's 3 concerts in Vienna are canceled after the government confirmed a planned attack at the stadium.
She was supposed to perform 3 shows starting today. Austrian police detained 2 people suspected of plotting attacks at those concerts. One of them is just 19 years old.
Investigators say he's an Austrian citizen who had pledged allegiance to the Islamic State. All tickets will be automatically refunded for those shows in Vienna. Next week, Swift is expected to be in London.
7:10 now, and Channel 3 is your back to school authority. And before we start the new school year, we are asking Connecticut teachers to let us know what you need.
Yeah, because we know a lot of you spend your own money on school supplies, and we want to help you out. So send us a link to your wish list on our website or the WFSB app, and we'll post those lists starting next week.
Some think it's cool out there, i.e. Tracey McCain. Temperatures are in the low to mid 60s, which is okay. It is a little bit below average. 63 is the typical overnight low. So the numbers, they're okay this morning, 65, and it's basically dry out there right now. We are up from where we were yesterday, anywhere from 1 to 4 degrees. And the dew points are fairly comfortable in the upper 50s and low 60s. Now, the comfort index, again, it's a little muggy out there, and it's going to be a muggy forecast for the next couple of days. And then the remnants of Debbie go by, and watch the dew points drop to some beautiful weather Saturday, Sunday, and Monday and Tuesday. Forecasted highs today, about 10 degrees warmer than where we are now, and about 10 degrees shy of where we should be. Mostly cloudy with some showers late. All right, Tracy, we'll send it to you.
All right, thanks. I might have had my ski coat on today. I'm not going to.